Hey, welcome back guys. This is Beamer Merchant doing another do-it-yourself video. Today we're going to show you how to remove a fuel tank out of a 2000 BMW 540i. We're going to show you the tools we used and the removal process. First off, be sure to work on a well ventilated area. If your fuel tank is full, be sure to drain it. You're going to need rags to clean the spill ups, a floor jack, a piece of plywood about 3 feet long, 4 feet long. Tools we used, electric ratchet, extension. We have a 6mm hex, a 10mm socket, and we have this tack remover. You will begin by lifting the car. If you have a lift, much better. If not, floor jacks will be fine. Removing your passenger rear wheel. Once you remove the tire, you're gonna see this wheel well, plastic. Once you remove the plastic wheel well, you'll be able to see the filler hose, which is this part here. It is connected to the chassis here. And right there, those are 10 mil bolts. Those 2 bolts have been removed. You can just pull the filler hose and it'll detach from the filler point right there. Next, you're gonna have to disconnect the brake lines from inside the car. Here, since we're not gonna use this chassis anymore, we just cut it, which allowed us to bring the tank down. Prior to bringing the car down, we took off 2 hex bolts, and these bolts hold the brackets. This bracket here, which holds the fuel pump. There's one here, and there's another one here in the back. It's easier to remove those bolts while the car is on the air. This is how the metal bracket sits. And the bolt is attached right there. The bolt looks like this. And this is the hex that we used, 6mm. We brought the car low enough, about, again, 2 to 3 feet, just so we can lift the floor jack, place that piece of plywood underneath to hold it in place. Once we did that, we came underneath the car. Here, there's another hex bolt, which sits right there. This is a similar bolt, and the same process was made on the opposite side to take that final bolt out. Just be sure as you're removing the last bolt that this plywood is holding on to the fuel tank. And as stated earlier, be sure to pump out as much fuel as you can to reduce the weight on this plywood. Once you come to the rear driver area, this is where the balancer on that fuel tank sits. And if you look down here, this is what it looks like. At this point, you are going to have to disconnect the hose that sits here, because as the tank lowers itself, this is where it's connected on the top. If it's not disconnected from here, you risk breaking this section here. You will also have to disconnect this vent hose. This hose runs along the top of the fuel tank, comes down here, and it connects right here. It is connected by these clamps. So you have to loosen these, and then you can pull the hose out. Lastly, there's 2 more, I believe they're vent hoses on the top. This one here, and then there's a thick one up here. On this one here, the way to remove it is here. This is a clamp. You can take this out, and this hose should slide out from here. The other vent hose that you have to disconnect is this one here. It's held by these clamps here. Break these. You can either do it, I believe you should do it here. Do it here. I would put some W40 in here, so when you do break this clamp, you can slide it out. And this vent hose is located up there. So as you can see, there's two hoses that are running on the driver rear section back here that you have to remove or disconnect before you're able to drop the tank down. If you don't, you risk breaking this section here or other components of the fuel tank. So once the straps, the two bolts at the end, the vent lines, the fuel lines have been disconnected using the floor jack and that plywood, all you have to do is slowly lower the floor jack. And as that happens, this vent hose, which sits, it goes back here and comes out here. Be sure to guide it out as you're doing that so it doesn't break. One thing I forgot to mention, and I'm pretty sure you already figured it out, you are gonna have to remove the drag shaft. All right, guys, so that's a brief version on how to remove the fuel tank out of a BMW E39. In this case, wagon. Should be the same for sedans. Hope you learned something, enjoyed. If you have any questions, comments, please post them below. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. And please be sure to subscribe. Visit our website posted below and subscribe for future videos. And you could save yourself a lot of money by learning how to do these things yourself. Thank you for watching. Before we log out, in the next video, we're gonna focus, as stated earlier, on these lines, what their purposes are, and where they attach, connect, and end up inside your car. In the meantime, thank you for watching, guys. You have an awesome day. You take care.